Hey, what's up everybody? It's your girl Nye here, and today we have an awesome new series for you guys. And I am sitting here with the wonderful President and CEO of Royal Kingdom Estates, Danny Angels, and he's gonna go over with us what this series is all about.
Did you say I'm wonderful?
Yes, I did, sir.
You also expressed I'm more wonderful than me.
You know you're wonderful, you're modest.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
Looking all good in this yellow.
Thank you. Today we have the series dubbed The Pollution of Real Estate.
Okay.
Why do we say pollution of real estate? Real estate has evolved in the last decade in Ghana and West Africa as a whole. So it's important that before we begin to showcase the beautiful homes, the nice land, we want to be able to educate our subscribers on the various laws, the various, we just want to address the various questions that are on their mind. And today, I have a surprise for you. I'm going to bring in your resource person that's going to take you and your subscribers on a smooth ride.
Okay.
So stay tuned and watch out.
Hey guys, I am sitting here with our wonderful, beautiful resource person that's going to go and show us all the ropes of our topic today. Hi Leonie, how are you?
Fine, thank you, Nye. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for being on the channel. So please, can you introduce yourself to the viewers?
All right, thank you for having me, Nye. My name is Leonie, but I'm a lawyer, and I'm also a real estate consultant and a certified valuer as well. And today I'm happy to share with you and your audience a little on citizenship in Ghana, how to acquire it, and even how you may lose it, and then how an investment in land may assist in the process. So I'm happy to be here.
Oh wow, that was like jam-packed full of information. I would say, being from the diaspora myself, this is a very important subject matter. You know, it is kind of like there's been a lot of talk, and a lot of people from the diaspora getting citizenship and want to know how to acquire it. So this is a hot button topic. So thank you so much for being on this channel. And to start with, in your opinion, what defines a Ghana citizen?
Yes, so there is a law, what we call an act of parliament, that actually governs or provides for citizenship, tells us who is a citizen, how to acquire Ghanaian citizenship, the types, the modes of acquiring them, tells us how you may lose it, you know, and all that, and the roles of the ministries that are essential in citizenship. So we have the Citizenship Act of Ghana, and that act says that simply anybody who was a citizen before the coming into force of the 1992 Constitution is a citizen of Ghana. So that seems simplistic. So anybody who was a citizen before the coming into force or the 1992 Constitution started operating is now a citizen of Ghana. So that's who a citizen of Ghana is defined as.
So that's how it's defined. Yes. Okay. So by what means, what are the various means how you can acquire citizenship here in Ghana?
Yes, so what we just said, that anybody who has citizenship before the coming into force of the 1990 Constitution. Anyone else who falls outside that circle, of course, if they desire to become citizen, needs to acquire it. So we have those who they haven't come to Ghana as citizens, but wherever they are, per the law, they are citizens because of their birth or the circumstances surrounding their birth. So we have citizenship by birth, of course. And then we have citizenship by adoption. So you could become a Ghanaian citizen through adoption.
So by being adopted.
Yes, by being adopted by a citizen, it has its own set of rules. And then we have citizenship by registration. You can be registered as a citizen of Ghana. It has its own regime or things that go with its requirements and so on, procedures. And then we have naturalization.
Okay, so can you go into that more?
So I think as we go on, we'll move into it. And then one other interesting thing you should know, that if you are a 7-year-old child and you are found in Ghana, you don't know your parents, you automatically are seen as a citizen of Ghana. So these are the way, these are the people now. If you weren't a citizen before, these are the ways that you become a citizen.
Okay, well, mostly people coming from the diaspora want to know the procedures of how it's done, because probably about 3-4 years ago, there was citizenship that was granted to people from the diaspora, but there was a little bit of a confusion with it because some people were here for decades, like 30-40 years, and didn't get citizenship, versus people who were just coming and they got it and they received it, and they were kind of like, okay, how is the procedures done? And like recently, there's I think about 126 different people that came from the diaspora that were granted citizenship. I mean, the ceremony was huge. I felt like I was missing out. I really was. I was like, okay, different celebrities, and I mean, just a jubilation about it. So a lot of people are like, okay, I want to be a part of that. So can you share with us the procedures of how to register to be a Ghana citizen?
Yeah, so for people in the diaspora, I think that what will be most important to you, and by diaspora we are talking about African Americans out there in the Caribbean, wherever they are, yes, or people who identify as people of African descent who may want to join us in Ghana. Yes. For such group, I think that what will be important for all the ways of acquiring or securing the citizenship status, what is most important will be registration and naturalization. Okay. So I think that these two are the two areas to look at. If you want to become a citizen, then you should be looking at going through the mode of registration or going through the mode of naturalization.
Okay, alrighty. So what would you say would be like the different governmental agencies and bodies to go through to get citizenship or to get registered for it?
So both processes I've just spoken about, they are not short processes. Let's just put it as that. They are not short processes.
Okay, so they're not short, guys. They're not short.
Okay. There are years involved. Okay, so it's not a process by which you enter an office, write something, and make an application, and go home having a Ghanaian citizenship. So let's say that first. The institutions that the Ministry of Interior is in charge of all things citizenship, and then the Ghana Immigration Service, which is actually under the Ministry of Interior, is charged with some of these things, some of these processes. So these are the key institutions you are looking at when you are looking at citizenship or acquiring Ghanaian citizenship. Yes.
Got you. So I guess, would you say it would be kind of like, I don't know, I guess it would maybe vary from person to person. I don't know if you can answer this question, but is there a certain time frame of maybe when somebody would get citizenship, or it's just kind of, it can just take years?
So it always depends on the mode through which you are seeking to acquire citizenship. If it is by naturalization or registration, the law doesn't prescribe any year limit beyond which you can't be a Ghanaian citizen. But if, for instance, like I was telling you, a foundling who is 8 years will not, of course, automatically be considered a Ghanaian citizen. So it depends on the mode of acquisition you are looking at. So like I was saying, if we are looking at registration and naturalization, then let's just say there's no age limit. There's no age limit. Okay. But what I would add to that is, some of the requirements which we will discuss for acquiring citizenship through either registration or naturalization require certain things like your ability to contribute substantially to our country, to this country, or to learn and speak an indigenous language. So, and you have to, of course, you have to show proof. You have to show evidence that these requirements are met. So even though the law may not take you out, you may take yourself out by not being able to meet a certain requirement. But the law doesn't actually provide that there's an age limit.
Okay, so that word, like I said, naturalization, I kind of want to get more of a background into that word that you use.
So, naturalization, you know, is like its name sounds more like you have been here for so long, you have been around. It's like you're one of us. So that's sort of the thinking, or that is a way to think about naturalization. So to be somebody who can become a citizen of Ghana through naturalization, you must be somebody of good character. Okay, so these are the things that we are starting off with. So check yourself off before we even go through the procedure. So you must be somebody of good character. And one of the other requirements is that you must be somebody who speaks an indigenous language, Ghanaian language.
So you have to speak an indigenous language.
Yes,
and how many languages are there?
Many languages. So
like
you can
a myriad.
choose whichever is easiest for you.
Okay.
And then somebody who intends to stay permanently, actually have permanent residence in Ghana. So that is one of the difference we should note with that and registration. For naturalization, already you are showing that you are somebody who wants to be around. And then you should be looking forward to staying permanently in Ghana.
Okay, got you.
And then you must also show to the minister. So all this is to show to the minister, you know.
Well, so you have to present this to the minister.
Yes, or show proof.
Right,
that that you are somebody of a good character. You've not been imprisoned for an offense wherever you are coming from. If that offense, if that offense is also an offense in Ghana. You know, so it could be that you've been in prison for something elsewhere, which is not an offense in Ghana. So that's your home and dry. But if it is an offense in Ghana, then you mustn't have fallen short of it, wherever you're coming from.
Okay. You know, I'm glad that we're talking about this because I wanted to know if there was like anything that can like prevent you or hindrance of you like getting your citizenship, kind of like, so I wanted to also go over that as well.
Yeah, so we will go deeper into that, the list. But in relation to naturalization, where we are looking at your imprisonment for an offense, we are saying that if it is an act that constitutes an offense in Ghana.
In Ghana.
Yes,
okay.
In Ghana.
In Ghana.
And then if you have been imprisoned for that offense, you are disqualified.
You can't get.
By that, we're also saying that if you have been imprisoned for an offense which is not somewhere else in another country, which is not an offense in Ghana, this may not apply to you. So we are talking about offenses per Ghanaian law.
Gotcha.
To qualify, you must have also stayed in Ghana before your application for a period of 12 months, that is 1 year.
Okay, so that's a whole year.
And then before that 12 months, 7 years before that 12 months, you must have stayed in Ghana, ordinarily been resident in Ghana for a period when put together shouldn't be less than 5 years. So it could be that you've been coming and going, but when you come, you stay this number of months, this number of weeks. When we put all that together, it should not be less than 5 years. Do you see? Before the 12 months, and then you can apply to acquire citizenship through naturalization.
Okay, thank you so much for clearing that up, because you have people like going back and forth and maybe stay for a little while. So thank you so much for clearing that up. So okay, let's just say that somebody is coming in from the diaspora and maybe they don't want citizenship right now. It's kind of not in their scope at the moment. Is there any way how somebody can still be here permanently but without getting citizenship?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. That's helpful for the diaspora because like we are looking at, we've not even gone into registration. Obtaining or acquiring citizenship is not a walk in the park.
Right, exactly.
But then we have what we call right of abode.
Yes, I've heard of that one. Yeah, right of abode. Yes, definitely.
So that's something we have in our law for the diaspora, people of African descent in the diaspora. Yes, who wants to be in Ghana. So this allows you to stay in Ghana indefinitely. And like I said, it is for people in the diaspora. You know, yes. So, and then it is also for people who may have lost their citizenship through maybe marriage. Sometimes there are countries out there who are very interested in allegiance, such that if you are to marry their national, you will lose your original citizenship. If that happens,
really?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes. So if that happens to you, and then to still keep you comfortable at home, even though you are not Ghanaian, you are not a Ghanaian citizen,
right?
You still can have the right of abode to stay here, travel, go, but you can stay here.
Oh, okay. So the right of abode is something definitely that we can take advantage of.
Yes.
What about like residency permits?
Yeah, so residency permits are not as long. You can have it for as long as 8 years, but initially you can only have 4 years. So in fact, going through one of the requirements to reach citizenship through naturalization has to come through having initially acquired a resident permit and stayed here for all that. Because of course you can't stay here legally without residence permit. So,
of course.
So there's that. You must have gone through that to arrive at, naturalization, or to prove that you have stayed around long enough to be given citizenship through naturalization. So there's of course residence permit. You can be here for up to 8 years.
Oh, okay. That's a pretty decent time. That's a pretty long time. So let's just say, okay, with a lot of times with citizenship, you can get citizenship through, being married to a spouse, or maybe even through business. Can you also have get citizenship easier? Let's just say if you have a business here, or how does that work?
Yes, when you look at some of the requirements put out there by the Ministry of Interior, and one of the things to show, because we are looking at your ability to assimilate,
right,
when you come around. One of the things they look out for is incorporation documents of a company you have in Ghana. That's easy evidence of you really want to stay. We also have, so even though that may not necessarily lead to an easy application for citizenship, it is good evidence.
Right, it kind of makes it a little bit better.
It's good evidence to show that you will easily assimilate.
Right.
And that, even for the right of abode we spoke about, you should be somebody of independent means. Such that when you come, you're not going to be requiring so much government assistance.
Oh, right, exactly. So you can make your own money, you're kind of more self-sufficient.
Yes. So if you already have a registered company in Ghana, I mean, of course, it's going to show that, it goes to show that you are somebody who can take care of themselves. So it helps, but
it doesn't guarantee.
Yes.
It's not like a guarantee.
Yes.
Got you.
And in the same vein, investment in land does that for you.
Oh, really?
On a similar, like we are saying, it goes to show that you intend to stay because you've acquired property here. You intend to build a home. You intend to build this. You intend to build a factory. You intend to do this.
Right.
It goes to show your desire to stay here.
Okay.
Your commitment to stay, because investment
in land, that's a big deal.
Yes. Yeah. And it draws you, or it ties you down to some extent. So it's all good. It all assists with the process.
You hear that, guys? So land acquisition is one. And if you're looking for some land, you know where to come to. Royal Kingdom Estates. Right?
So that's it.
Okay, wonderful. You go more into how to register or to be a citizen.
All right,
that's a biggie.
So acquiring citizenship by registration.
Okay.
Well, so there are two ways. I think people usually think about getting married and then registering as getting married to a Ghanaian citizen and registering as. That's easy, that looks more straightforward.
Right.
But then, even though you know of this, that it is possible to acquire citizenship this way, the caveat, or what you should know, is that if in the Minister of Interior's opinion, the entire reason why you are marrying is for citizenship, then there will be trouble. So it must be shown that the marriage is, you are entering into the marriage in good faith for marriage itself and not for citizenship.
So how can they tell? I mean, like, how can you tell?
Well,
It's like a farce.
It's a mixture of interior, I'm sure they will know. And I think there are several jurisdictions or several states out there that also will assess whether this is for real, whether this marriage is in good faith or just for the purpose of, you know, registering as a citizen. So let's put that aside. That's the easy, straightforward. But apart from marriage, acquiring, registering as a citizen, because you know, any other citizen, you know, of age, somebody who is of age, you know, person of majority who wishes to be Ghanaian can apply to be registered as a Ghanaian citizen if they have been ordinarily resident in Ghana for 5 years before the, you know, the application. Okay. And in fact, there's also room for you to not meet the 5-year mark, where the minister could, in his own, you know, per the provision of the act, in his discretion, allow you to meet a lower number of years in his, if in his opinion a shorter period is okay or will suffice. Then even though you've not been here ordinarily resident 5 years, you can still be registered. But it all depends on the minister. But of course, it goes without saying that you must be a person of good character. Right. The language thing still applies. You must be able to speak an indigenous Ghanaian language.
Are you guys ready to speak an indigenous Ghana language?
Yes, there are so many of them. Some very easy, you know. So
I'm still trying to like get like the simple type of chui.
Yes, so you can always go for, you know, it's easy. Many more people speak it, so it's easier for you to
pick up on it.
Pick up and then practice. Yes. So all those other requirements still come along, but you would notice that the difference between naturalization or acquiring citizenship through naturalization and registration is that the period we are talking about is shorter, you know, in registration. And if you are marrying somebody, then it is even a bit more straightforward. You know. Once you acquire your citizenship, you can also register your children. So registration for acquiring citizenship through registration can also be you acquiring and then later registering your children. So it's you acquire your children can also acquire citizenship through registration.
Okay, so with children registering, is it more of a tedious task, or is it about the same as like for an adult? Or
so you know, each time you are applying for citizenship and you are meeting the requirement, depending on what it is, which mode you are going through, there are certain documents you have to present. For instance, if you are coming through marriage, you must show your spouse the biodata of your spouse, for instance, and a letter showing that so this is so the child, you of course have to show that it is true that this is your child, and you have citizenship already. So there are documents that you have to put in to show. Yes, but then they, in a situation like that, of course, they are not going to be going through that number of years requirements, because they are getting their citizenship through you having become a citizen. Okay,
that makes sense. So I guess we would say with, is it possible, because I remember you mentioned this in the beginning, to lose it? Let's say I have citizenship, right? And I was implicated, I was a mass mugger, and I was robbing a bank, and I was a citizen here. Could I lose it that way?
Yeah, so the law that I already spoke about prescribes ways by which you can lose your citizenship. Okay. But before I go there, we've already said that there are certain countries that will require you to renounce your citizenship once you acquire theirs. So if you are such a person who is acquiring the citizenship of another country that has this law that you have to renounce your original citizenship, then of course you can lose it. But you can lose it yourself by renouncing it. So you can renounce it yourself? Yes. Okay. So then the Ministry of Interior will register that you no longer want to be Ghanaian. Okay. So other than that, is there any way to lose it or no? So if the Attorney General, the Attorney General, who is more like the lawyer of the state, if in his opinion you have done something that is criminal, that is fraudulent, or you acquired, or let me put it this way, you acquired your citizenship through some sort of fraudulence.
Right, kind of like illegal means.
Yes,
Yeah.
or you lied about something. And then that is how you got your citizenship. Then the lawyer of the state, the attorney general, can actually apply to a high court to have your citizenship taken away from you.
Yes. It can be revoked.
So that's one of the ways.
So with you mentioning like an original, I guess you're saying you lose your citizenship in your original country. What about dual citizenship? Is that possible here?
Yes, it is possible. But this is not a blanket statement. Let me put it out there. It's not. It is possible generally, to maintain a Ghanaian citizen. So I'm talking from the point of view of the Ghanaian law. So it is possible for us. It may not be possible for you because of where you are coming from. Such that if by law wherever you are coming from has laws that prevent you from getting dual citizenship, then you will not be able to. So the only way would be to renounce that citizenship before you get the Ghanaian citizenship. But from Ghana's point of view, dual citizenship is totally achievable.
It's totally fine. Okay.
But again, well, this is just to, there are certain officers of the state that are not allowed to acquire other citizenships of other states. But you can, if no law prevents you, then dual citizenship is generally, not completely, but generally something that the law provides for in Ghana.
Okay, all right. Well, I have to say this interview has been jam-packed full of information. I have learned some things by talking to you, and you are very knowledgeable, and thank you so much for coming on the channel and just kind of, giving us, some information, especially people from the diaspora that are looking to become Ghanaian citizens, and to come back home. So thank you so much, Leonie, for coming on the channel. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for tuning in. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and please share this information with others because this needs to get out, okay? And I will see you in the next video. Bye.